All right, let's give it like another like couple minutes, and then we'll get started here. And guys, we're just gonna be talking a little bit about Facebook and Google, and basically what you guys should know before advertising, or maybe if you guys are already advertising, what you guys should, I guess, plan ahead and look forward to if you're not advertising on Google yet, or if you already are advertising on Google, some things that you guys can take advantage there. So yeah, let's just give this a little bit more time.
Yeah, yeah. And guys, if you guys hear me, go ahead and share this live with anyone who you would think would be interested in Google Ads.
They're saying that Richard's a little faint, but we can hear him. Elrod, what's up?
But we can hear him, okay.
He says we can hear him a little. Carlito, hi guys, what's up, man?
Carlito.
Andrew, what's up? So just to get an idea here, how many of you guys are already advertising with Facebook? Please type in a 2. If you guys are already advertising with Facebook, type in a 2. If you guys are advertising with Google, type in a 3. Just so I can get an idea of who's doing what. And if you guys aren't advertising at all, you guys haven't started, type in 0. So 2, that's most people. It looks like they're advertising with Facebook.
Yeah.
And 3s, I see some 3s too.
So yeah, Michael, dude, Michael's killing.
Yeah, Michael's killing him.
I'm actually gonna help him scale. Michael, I haven't forgotten about you, man. I've been super busy. If you want, we can do it after this live. We can scale your stuff.
So we have a couple people.
And he said if you speak in Spanish, he will be happy.
Henry, vamos a hablar un poquito español aquí para usted. We're gonna do some Spanglish. So I'm seeing okay, so I'm seeing some 2s, some 0s, not many 3s.
Yeah, there's not a lot of 3s.
Let me see if I can like make these comments bigger somehow. Let me see.
Some 0s.
Ah, shit.
Not many 3s.
You guys are gonna. I gotta mute this. Let me see.
Some 0s. Ah, shit. Facebook a little, and a little bit of shopping. Henry.
Okay. All right, guys. So we got that good to go. Yep. Okay, guys. So I guess we're gonna go ahead and start this. I don't know how many people we're at. I think we're at 15, but we'll get the ball rolling here. We're gonna go ahead and start. We had a lot more comments in this, so I don't know. We could wait a little bit longer, but it's not fair to you guys that are already in here. So we're gonna get the ball rolling here, and
catch the replay, I think.
Yeah, if anything, just catch the replay. This thing's gonna stay here on the group. But to make a point right now, guys, for whoever stays watching this throughout the whole time and is actively participating, we're actually gonna give out one free course to the Ecom Profit Masterclass, which is this program that we're doing here with Google and Shopify, and basically teaching you the A through Z's of both. So if you stay through the whole thing, you guys are gonna be rewarded for this. You guys are gonna be able to win a course and be able to get a membership into this program, which is great. I mean, there's a lot of guys in here already that have already gone through this and have learned a lot, so you guys can take advantage of that as well. So we're going to be doing that at the end actually, but I just want to let you guys know here in the beginning just so you guys are aware. So let's get the ball rolling here. Okay.
Everyone's saying nice, awesome. It's awesome, guys. I was checking it out right before this.
Yeah, awesome. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Also, guys, we're gonna have Richard. Richard's on Skype right now with me, so he's gonna be answering questions. I don't know how well you guys can hear him, but he's gonna be talking as loud as possible. I'll raise the volume here to the max. He's gonna be talking as loud as possible there, just to answer your questions. And basically, I'm gonna start going on here with what we have planned for you today. So basically what we're going to be talking about a little bit here is kind of advertising for Shopify and basically all of e-commerce. So we can't get started before mentioning the elephant in the room. Right now, that elephant is Facebook because there's, I don't know if you guys have been looking at the news, but there's a lot of stuff going on with Facebook. Basically, a lot of people are kind of boycotting Facebook for the issues that they've been having with the whole presidential election and all that stuff, that they were selling information, or basically, they had all this information for consumers that, people were using to, I guess not take advantage, but basically use it to their advantage in a way. So people are using that to advertise certain things that, some people didn't agree with. So there was a big ordeal, and now a lot of people are like kind of boycotting Facebook, which is not good at all for Facebook. I think Facebook has actually overall, like, it's lost like $50 billion in like a number of days, which is crazy because of so many people like bringing this issue up, and now Congress is involved in a bunch of legal stuff that I don't really want to get into. But yeah, we just gotta keep that in mind, because we know, we use Facebook as advertisers, and we're trying to sell our products, and we're trying to advertise. So we have to keep that in mind when we're, doing all this stuff, and seeing, we want to make sure we're diversified, because if anything ever happens to Facebook and that's the only way you're advertising, guess what? You're screwed. So you want to cover all your bases. And basically what we're going to be doing here is talking a little bit about Facebook, talking a little bit about Google, basically telling you guys that there's more options out there, and how you can apply these options to best suit you, and so you can make money, and you can build your business and all that great stuff. So let's get started here. So basically what I wanted to do here was I was going to go over a little bit here on basically like a comparison between Facebook.
Guys, and just a quick reminder to the people who are asking the most questions and commenting the most, you will have the highest chance of winning the free course, because Laz is just going to scroll through all the comments, and whichever one it lands on, that will be the one that wins the free course.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to give that to Richard today. So Rich is going to be the one choosing who's the lucky winner. And he's basically just going to pick at random. But yeah, basically the more you comment, the better chances you have. So let's get that in there. So before we get started here, we have Facebook and Google. So I'm not going to say that I think one of them is better than the other. I'm going to say that they're both pretty good. They're both great advertising platforms. I've made a ton of money using both of them. And, I'm not going to knock one off, just say like, oh, this one's way better than the other, because that would just be me lying. And I'm like, to be honest, I'm just trying to be as honest as possible with you guys. So there's benefits to both of these, of course. So, but with that being said, there's easier when it comes to learning curve, when it comes to, just the ability to sell stuff, the margins, all that good stuff. There's like a huge discrepancy between the two. And basically I'm going to go over some of these things that, there's a contrast between these two things. So just before I get started here, I'm going to basically I should write this in a different color. I'm going to write it blue and black.
So Laz, Henry says that he went from $10,000 per month to only $2,000 because of the changes with Facebook. So he's looking for new alternatives to advertise.
Yeah. So that's a big one. That's something that, we've seen a lot of people having issues with ourselves. Like we've seen a huge drop off in the last couple of days. That when Facebook is dealing with all these issues, it's just been horrible for us. So it's just something to keep in mind. So the first thing I'm writing here for both Facebook and Google. I don't know if you guys can see that fine, but I wrote user-friendly for both of them. And that might be something that's very, it's something that's very basic. But, when it comes to advertising, there's like if you're not advertising on a platform that you understand, it could be very hard for you just to make money. But that's just something I want to throw there off the bat, that they're both pretty user-friendly. You get all your metrics, everything is super easy to set up, and it's just a matter of setting it up. Going forward is like where things change a little bit. So this is a social network. So we have Facebook, that's a social network. Let me just underline this here. And Google,
Yeah, Stan, Facebook is getting really expensive, man.
yeah. So we have Facebook, user friendly and is also a social network, and then we have Google, user friendly and it's a search engine. So right from there we see that there's like some basic differences between the two, and they're pretty huge differences, right? Because when you're on a social network, you're pretty much, what are you like kind of doing? You're trying to socialize, you're trying to put out pictures, you're trying to talk to friends, you're trying to just like see like some news, maybe like see what's going on. That's kind of like what you see on with Facebook. With Google, it's something that maybe you're searching for a specific keyword, and then Google is just showing you whatever you're searching for. Maybe you're searching for a website, you're searching for some information, and Google's showing you whatever you search for. So there, right from that point of view, you can tell like that both of these are very different. But just as a reminder, these two are probably the biggest social networks and search engines. They're the biggest on their respective fields, so that's why they're so powerful, guys, and that's why you want to be taking advantage of both of them here. Let me see.
Does anyone have any questions so far?
Yeah, if anyone has questions, just start posting them. Richard's answering them as we go.
Yeah.
And we'll just keep getting started here.
So Richard put, have you tried YouTube? No. Well, we did try YouTube, but it was kind of expensive for ecom. But YouTube is really good for other products, like digital products, Richard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Richard. If you're trying to sell like information, stuff like that, like I myself, I get targeted with a bunch of different stuff on YouTube all the time, like just Ty Lopez type stuff, like all these big marketers. And basically, for information, it's great because you're selling like higher ticket items. But when it comes to products, it's very hard to break in there because it's just so expensive. But I mean, it depends what you're selling, and yeah.
So Abdiel said, "What about Instagram?" And Carlito said, "I'm considering going to Instagram and Google."
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Instagram. We've tried Instagram. We haven't had much success with it. Most people that have success with Instagram is through like influencer marketing. So like they'll get someone to post their product or be like, oh, hey, like check this thing out. Like this is a super cool like item. And then that's how they do it. But just, flat out putting your post on Instagram is kind of hard. It's also, I mean, just from what we've tried, it is hard, but we do know that there's people that, that make it work.
Yeah.
So let me continue here. I'm just going to be writing this down. I don't know if Richard has some other questions to answer.
Yeah, so Imran says, in terms of developing a customer avatar, Facebook offers a great platform. How do we do it in Google Shopping? I think Laz can go into that now. So basically how like the targeting, Laz, I think is what Imran is asking, Imran Khan.
Okay.
And then Elrod put, so you guys are using Google Shopping? Yeah, we are. That's what we're doing. We're doing mostly Google Shopping. We're also doing Google Search, and we do a little bit of Display Network.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm gonna get to the targeting in a little bit, but the first thing I wanted to talk about was the pixel. So if you've advertised on Facebook before, you have experience with a pixel, and the pixel could be a huge headache. Just because it's this, it's a piece of code that you put on your website, and basically Facebook is able to track customers with that piece of code. But when you start off on Facebook, this pixel has no data, so it has nothing to go off on. And basically, what results with this pixel is that you need to warm it up. So warming up. So when I say warming up, it means generally that you have to like give it some time to get get some data, get to know like what customers are buying, what products, what customers are adding to cart, and then it like builds this data, and then it's supposed to be able to target people based off that data it's already collecting, and it knows who's gonna buy, who's gonna add to cart, all that good stuff. So when you advertise on Facebook, you need to make sure that this pixel is warmed up and ready to go. So you need this quote unquote warming up period. So it takes some time for that to happen, and then once it warms up, start making sales. So you start making sales. So about with Google, there is no pixel. So you can just pretty much here, you can make sales instantly. So Facebook, we have no, on Google, we have no pixel. So then there's nothing to warm up. Everything's off, you know, like you don't have to warm up a pixel to start like giving it data and none of that stuff. You know, you can automatically start making sales, which is huge because if you're advertising with Facebook and you're just starting, it's going to take you some time to build that information and get going.
So Carlito put, are the people buying directly on Google Shopping or do they end up buying on the website?
Yeah, so Carlito, about if they buy on the website or on Google Shopping. So Google Shopping is just a platform that shows your products. So when they see your products, I'm like drawing all over myself here. When they see your products, they're going to click on your ad, and that ad is going to take them to your store. So they end up buying on your store. They're not buying on Google per se.
Stan puts, how many purchases do you guys consider warm on Facebook?
So that's a good one, and you know, it varies from product to product because how we like to test, we're basically putting out a ton of our audiences and just giving our pixel data with that product. And then basically what we're doing is we're just trying to break even. And then once we have, let's say, 1,000 page views or 500 add to carts or 200 purchases, then we're making lookalikes of these audiences, and then that's what we're advertising to. So that's kind of like what our I guess our technique with Facebook is. But I mean, it's very different how we advertise on Facebook and how we advertise on Google.
Yeah. Guys, put a 1 if you think that this is cool about Google, that you don't really need to warm up any pixel. You can start making sales instantly.
Yeah.
If you guys can hear me, I don't know.
Yeah. So Richard just said to put a 1 if you guys think that it's cool that you don't need a pixel on Google and that you can just start making instant sales.
Guys, put a 1. People are asking questions. So Carlito put a 1. So Ibrahim, I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name. When I Google products, I usually see the same product at a much cheaper cost on Amazon. I also see the AliExpress link at times. How do you guys deal with this? So Ibrahim, on these products, we still sell them on Google. We just don't bid too high, and we still make sales on them. They aren't products that get us, that make us a ton of money, but they can still make us. If you saw the last live, I kind of explained this. They can still make us around $35 of profit every single day, and we're actually finding a lot of these products now with Google. So hopefully that answers your question.
I don't know if you guys could hear Richard, but he just explained what to do if your products are being sold on Google Shopping by Amazon and by AliExpress. And basically what he said was that, we're not trying to outbid Amazon or AliExpress, but sometimes we'll still get sales because people don't find these products, I guess, trustworthy. So if they see a product that, people are selling it for $20 and then you see AliExpress has it for $5, a lot of people don't know about that, and they're not gonna buy AliExpress because they're like, oh, this product isn't legit. Or sometimes they'll even think, oh, shipping is probably gonna take a super long time, even though it's gonna take a pretty long time with us. They're just, it's all about the branding. So that's what you got to keep in mind there.
So we're getting a lot of questions. So Jason said, Richard, if you have a old Pixel with thousands of purchase buyers, but it hasn't been used a while, does it still contain the data, and could it use instead of using a new Pixel? So Jason, we've had Pixels with a lot of data that we stopped using them, and when we started using it again, we had to warm it up again.
Yeah.
So honestly, I would probably suggest just using a new Pixel, like fresh Pixel, and if you need some of the data from that Pixel, you can actually just share your lookalike audiences. So Richard says, the product I sell is unique to my company. I can't rely on people searching for it directly, only related stuff. Facebook works since it's not search-based. what would you suggest in terms of Google Ads? So for Richard, for Google Ads, I would still put up the shopping campaign. Well, Laz is going to go into this.
Yeah.
Laz, are you going to go into the whole CPM and how they don't charge you?
Yeah. So I'm
Okay.
gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll cover that question. That's a really good question, but I guess we can talk about this a little bit now, just to offset everything. A big thing about Facebook that you guys have to remember is that when people go on Facebook, they're not there with the intention to buy stuff, right? So people, when they're on Facebook, they're just scrolling through their feed. They're just looking at what their friends are doing, and out of nowhere they'll see an ad pop up, and then it has to be something that catches their eye. It has to be something that they look at and they're like, wow, like this is awesome, like I really want to get it. This is an impulse buy. Like people don't really know that they want to buy this item until they see it. So this is, Facebook is all impulse buys. On the other hand, Google, people are there with the intention to buy. So when people are seeing your ads, it's because they searched a keyword that made your product pop up. So that's why here, as Richard was saying, I believe he asked a question about his product, and that, he has to put something like related because, that's how Facebook works, but Google, he can't make it work because he doesn't have the keywords, right? But actually you can. You just have to modify your keywords so that it's something that people are searching for, so that your product is able to pop up, and that's how you'll have more luck with that.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. That's a really good point. You can put like keywords into the description of your product. Let me see who asked that. I think it was Richard who asked that. Yeah, Richard. So you can put keywords into the description of your product or in your tags, or you can also do a search campaign with specific keywords so that when people are searching for specific things, your product pops up as well.
Yep.
Laz, we have a lot of questions, dude. So I'm going to be reading them out.
Yeah.
Facebook has audience insight. Is there a tool within Google to research products?
Yes, there is. And basically, it's one of the tools that we use to research products on Google. It's different than what you would think of on Facebook, because on Facebook you're researching for your targeting audience, right? People aren't searching for your product, so you're basically targeting specific people who you think will buy your product. That doesn't guarantee that they're going to sell or that people will buy them. On Google, on the other hand, you're using tools that are allowing you to basically see how many people are searching these keywords that are interested in your product. So then you're using these keywords to then sell it to people. So whenever people put these keywords in their search, your product is going to pop up. So
Ibrahim put, Facebook has a lot of inconsistencies, such as when the algorithm changes. Do you guys deal with such inconsistencies with Google AdWords as well, or has it been pretty stable for you?
Yeah, man. So with Google, it's funny because, as long as you make sure that your bid is in a place where you're staying ranked, there shouldn't be an issue. If the product stops being popular or something, then of course you're not going to sell the product. But as long as there's those monthly searches and your bid is in a place where you're ranked high, and basically when you type in the keyword, you're like one of the top ones, basically you're going to be making sales. And that's the beauty of Google. There's no algorithm really to we're going to show the ad to these people and not these people. Just based off the keywords and your bid, you're going to be showing the ads to the people who are basically searching your keyword.
Exactly. And it's really simple, because if you start seeing that your ad starts becoming unprofitable, all you have to do is lower the bid. And when you lower the bid, you get cheaper cost per clicks, and hence your cost per purchases go down as well. So Imran put, for product research, what is the difference between Facebook and Google, considering Google has a keyword planner which gives pretty much good idea, whereas Facebook, we need to find products which are impulse. How do you, Laz, explain this one, dude. This is our main thing here, getting products.
So, wait, what did he ask?
So he's just basically saying, what's the difference of finding products? Because basically, so what he's saying is that basically Facebook is a lottery where you have to see if a product is good. But on Google, we already know with the keyword planner which products have a high search volume and how much we need to bid and all that stuff.
Yeah, so that's a good question. That was Imran?
Yeah, Imran.
Okay, so when we're finding products, right, on On Google, finding products is a lot different than on Facebook. On Facebook, you're testing multiple products. You know, you don't know what's gonna sell. You don't know what audience you're targeting. You're basically just putting stuff out there and hoping that, you know, that your lottery number gets picked and that your product starts to sell. On Google, things are a little bit different, right? So on Google, and especially the way that we have it set up so that, you know, whenever you upload a product, it goes into your general campaign and it's automatically being tested using the keywords from that product, meaning the title and the description. So the keywords are all uploaded to Google, to the Google advertising, and basically whatever people are searching dictates whether your product gets shown or not. And then that, you know, like that's huge, because if, you know, if nobody's searching for your product, no harm done, right? But if people are searching for your product, then your product is getting shown, and then people are clicking on your product, that, you know, that's a really good sign, because that means that people are interested, they're there with the intention to buy and all that good stuff. That also leads me to my next point, which is how you're charged on Facebook against how you're charged on Google. On Facebook, you're charged on 1,000 impressions. Basically, that's your CPM. So that's a big thing on Facebook. And whenever this goes high, it's really bad, because that means like this value is basically what you get charged for every 1,000 impressions. And if this gets high, that means that you're paying a lot more for the people that are seeing your ad. On Google, on the other hand, you're only charged on clicks. So if you don't get any clicks on your ad, you won't get charged at all. So that's a huge point that, you know, Google wins that here all day, because if people aren't interested in your product, you know, you don't want to spend money on it. So Google only charges you based on clicks, and if people are clicking on your ad, then Google will charge you. If not, then no harm, no foul. So that's a really big one there.
Exactly. You can literally show your ad to 1 billion people, and if not one person clicks on your ad, you will not be charged anything. Whereas in Facebook, if you show it to 1 billion people and the CPM is like, I don't know, like $20 or $30, how it's been nowadays, you're going to lose a lot of money.
Yeah. So the CPM, like the last couple of days, as Richard just said, the CPMs have been going up and up. They've just been skyrocketing. I don't know if it's because of this whole Facebook ordeal, but they've just been going up. And then, you know, like that's how we pay for our ads. And so if the higher it goes, the more expensive it becomes for us. And, you know, like us as marketers, we're trying to get this as low as possible, which is, you know, the goal here. We're just trying to make sure like that this stays low, and so that we can get some sales.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a big one there.
Last, let's rapidly answer some questions, because there's a lot, dude. So
Okay.
Stan, that's why sales are more consistent, right? Since people are searching for it. Yes. Stan.
Yes.
Carl, but do you keyword stuff for Google Shopping? How you appear for keywords you want? Carl, I don't really know the way you phrase that, but if you're saying if we add keywords for the things that we want to show up in, yes, we do that. Lads, this one's for you. They put, hey lads, I'm doing Google Shopping, but my testing campaign is spending too much without many conversions. You mentioned about setting to 40 cents bid. Can you tell me, where do I set this up? Is that in the maximum CPC? So if you want, I'll answer it.
Yeah, go for it.
Tehran. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, man. But yeah, Tehran, if you're in our group, go in there, and I can just ask that question in there so that we can answer you in there, please, because it'll take a little bit. Alex put, damn it, I'm late. It's cool, bro. It's cool. Someone put, hey Richard, what do you think about the women's fashion accessory niche? That's funny, Jason, because I was actually just looking. We actually have an item that's selling in that niche, and we just put it out to a single product campaign. Derek put, what's up, Maine? What's up, Derek?
What's up, Derek?
Elrod put, how much budget do I need to find winning products on Google? Elrod, that's kind of like the same with Facebook. It just depends on how good the products that you're testing are. So it can be $10, it can be $100, it can be $5. It just depends on the products that you're testing. Carrie Ann put, oh, what's up, Carrie Ann? When you take a product from your general campaign to a standalone campaign because you think it's a winner. So wait, Carrie Ann, right there, that first statement that you said, because you think it's a winner, we only put it when we know it's a winner. So when it has at least 3 sales. do you do maximize clicks with a max bid of like $2 or enhanced bid? So I do maximize clicks, but if I see that it's going too high, then I go ahead and change it to manual bid. And when I change it to manual bid, I just put it to the same exact bid that it was bidding in the general campaign, because I know that at that bid it was profitable. So I'll go ahead and change it back to that bid. Caesar puts, how I create a campaign with Google. Caesar, I mean, that will take forever to answer. That's actually in the course. So if you're in there, I think that's module 5 in the Google section.
Yeah.
So it's like module like 11 or something. Stan put, are you guys using Google Trends to find products?
Yes. Yep.
CPM is expensive on Facebook. Dude,
yep.
They're ridiculous right now. It's stupid. Facebook has been crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy how my CPM. Yo, dude, everyone's complaining about CPM. It's ridiculous right now. Jeff, the person, Jeff actually won the last 3 courses.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. It makes no sense to not be advertising. So I don't know what you mean by that, Jeff. Do you mean to be advertising on Facebook or to not be advertising on Facebook? Dude, lads, I have to go ahead. I'm going to skip some of these because we're getting a lot. No problem, Richard. Thanks for answering my question. I actually did. I put in 2 images together so you can see my exact spec. Thanks for doing the live, guys. No problem, man. I would love to win this course. Stay to the end, Taryn. It's because he's answering, can you explain the general campaign? What is that? So, lads, if you want, you can explain the general campaign really quick. Yeah. You said 3 sales and that's your winner in 1 day. No, that's a lifetime, Stan. If we get a product that has around 3 sales, we go ahead and we make a separate campaign for it. And then I'll stop there, lads, because if not, we'll be here forever. Yeah, just go ahead. I guess you can go into the well, damn, you have no space on the whiteboard. So if you want, Neo, we can explain that after. Lads can explain that after when he's done with the comparison. Yeah. Lads, you can just go into like what I did in the last live, just quickly, I guess.
Yeah. So we'll cover a little bit of the general campaign and how we have that set up really quickly. As Richard said, that's already in the last live video, so if you want to see that, it's in the group, so you guys have access to that already. But we're going to keep going on here, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about basically Facebook and Google. And our next point here of emphasis is the creative and the audience, right? So on Facebook, as I said earlier, it's huge that it's very important that that you have your video creative and that your target audience, because if you don't have your video creative or your target audience, you're screwed. You can have a great product, you can have the great audience, but if your creative sucks, no one's gonna buy it. If you have a great product and you have the perfect wait, I already said that one. My bad. So if you have the right product and you have the right creative, but your targeting is off, then you're still screwed. And you can have a great creative and a great audience, but if your product sucks, like whatever, you're like, chances are you won't have a good creative because that's your product. But you need to have these metrics in order to be able to sell with Facebook. On Google, there's no video creation and there's no targeting. Basically, the way that this works is the video creation, which there's none. It's just Google's going to take the picture that you're using on your website, and the targeting needed, Google's going to take that from the keywords that you have in your title and in your description. So that's how Google does it. You don't have to set any of this stuff up. Google's doing this for you. Just make sure that you have a good title and a good description. And the last point that I want to make here, and then we can go into the general campaign if you guys want to know a little bit more about that, how we do that, is that this is 100% automated. Now, what do I mean by 100% automated? You can ask, is like, okay, so what does it mean to have Google 100% automated? Basically, what I mean by this is that we're constantly testing products on here, and constantly, like, we don't have to do anything. We just upload products to our store and they're constantly being tested automatically. We don't have to make a video every time we want to test a product. We don't have to figure out the audience for it. We don't have to do any of that. All of this is 100% automated. So if we start looking at this, just like going down this whole thing, let's see what type of good stuff we see on this side. Let's see what type of good stuff we see on that side, and let's see what type of bad things. I guess I can add here another good thing for Facebook. Richard, what do you think is another good thing that Facebook has? Oh, you can barely see that with the light.
So something. Let me see people. So I mean, for sure, something good that Facebook has is that even if since it's impulse buy, sometimes on Google a product won't get searches because people are just not searching for it.
Yeah.
But with Facebook, you're putting that in their face. So sometimes you can make a product that people aren't searching for. You can turn that into a winner because you're paying for, you're doing interest targeting.
Yeah. So right
that's
here.
Something good for Facebook.
Yeah. So yeah, as Richard said, impulse buy could be a good thing as well. But it could also be a bad thing because sometimes people don't want to buy your products. So I'm gonna give that a check mark and an X. So I'm gonna give it both there. Let's just go down this list and let's see. So user friendly, that's a good thing for both of these to have. Social network, that's great. It's like one of the biggest social networks in the world. So that's great. Search engine, one of the biggest search engines in the world. That's great. Pixel. Now this warming up thing, like it's good once you have it set up, but at the beginning, it sucks, guys. Let's be honest here. And warming up this pixel to start making sales, this sucks. So we're gonna say that it's better to not have a pixel. So we'll give that there. And that doesn't mean that you can't track your stuff with Google, because you can track your things. It's just using a conversion tag, and it's something different. The pixel has nothing to do with it. The pixel is just a method of optimizing, and then that's why it takes long to start making sales here. So people are there with the intention to buy. Now this is a good thing. As we're telling Richard, the other Richard that asked the question earlier, that he was asking, but my product, like people don't really know about it, so it's good for them to impulse buy. Sure, that's good here, and kind of won't be good there. But if you have the right keywords, that's also a winner there, because people are there with the intention to buy. So if they're searching for something that kind of looks like your product, then you'll be fine. Now charge for 1,000 impressions, CPM. These impressions, these CPMs have been going higher and higher and higher, like every year. Guys, we started doing this like 3 years ago, and the CPMs were like a fraction of what they are now. So that this method I don't think is good. So I'm gonna go ahead and put an X there. Charge based on clicks. This method, I mean, it just makes more sense to me. So I'm gonna give this a check mark here. But I mean, to each its own, right? If you want to pay more money for your impressions, then go on ahead and use that. So need to make a video creative and need to know your target audience. Now, if you're a designer and you know how to edit videos, you know how to make amazing pictures, you know how to make like crazy banner ads and like you're good at all that stuff, then great, this could be good for you. Maybe you can make like a super badass video, like when people see it, they're like, wow, like that shit looks crazy, let me buy this product right now. Then that could be a positive for you. Here you don't really have the option. Google's just taking your picture. So that's that. But if let's say you're like the average person that doesn't know, like isn't a crazy designer, you don't know how to make videos, you're just like, you're interested, you're kind of like a businessman, you like to make, sell products and all that good stuff, but you don't know how to make videos because that's just not your thing, then this is super good for you. And the targeting, that you don't need to target anything, that's just a plus on its own, because, well, that was an ugly plus. That was ugly. Here you go. That looks better. But yeah, and the no targeting needed. That's great, guys, because if you don't have to, if you don't have to waste time and like guess pretty much at who's gonna buy your product, that's just a win on its own. This thing right here, this is definitely not good, because you could find that target audience, but chances are it's gonna be really hard. And it's doable, but it's gonna be time that you're gonna have to invest in there and try to figure that out on your own, and it's gonna be hard. And then, yeah.
The only thing on Google side is green.
Yeah. So yeah, as you can see, everything here is green. Maybe I should give it a red, something red. I don't know.
No, I mean, there's nothing there to give a red to, though.
Yeah. So guys, as you can see, everything is good. And I can give an X here to 100% automated, but who doesn't want to like fully automate their business? Give me a 1 right now if you would like love to fully automate your testing campaigns and basically find winners on its own. Like if you want that, just type in a 1 right now. Type in a 1. I want to see some 1s, because if you don't type a 1, I'm kicking you. But yeah, so automated. That's like three V's or pluses or whatever you want to call them. That's what that looks like down there. So Jeff is saying one,
guys.
Yeah. So.
Guys, I think so. Yeah, I guess conclude there. Google definitely won, but we have a lot of questions, man.
Yeah. So we're gonna see if we can get to some of these questions. We know a lot of you guys have been. We're not ignoring you, but it's just I wanted to explain this real quick. And now that this thing is good to go, yeah, guys, as you can see, there's a lot of positives on this side. There's still positives on this side. It's just, you know, it's harder to make sales on here than it is there, honestly.